Victor, and this is going to be the first in a series of videos where I document the creation of my company. I'm titling it Zero to Orbit. I'd actually made this video before, recorded it and edited it and was ready to publish, but then I looked at it and it just seems like crap. So I had to redo it again, and so I'm doing it now. As I said, this is the first in a series of videos where I talk about my company. I carry you guys along the process of developing in public, till my company goes launches and it's like widely adopted. So I'm calling it Zero to Orbit. I didn't want to quite do a zero to launch because I still want to make more videos even after the company has launched, documenting how well it's being adopted, changes that I made. So that's why I'm saying Zero to Orbit, because I want to make as many videos as possible until maybe I'm tired of making videos or I physically am unable to make videos because of excessive work in running the company. So that's my goal. Okay, so first of all, let me talk about my company, Kushi. Kushi is the name. The name is derived from the Japanese kanji of sky and vision. So Ku is the Japanese kanji for sky, and Shi is the Japanese kanji for vision. So that makes Kushi. So the idea is we give you guys, or we aim to provide like a bedside view, connecting people to what they need, facilitating trust, right? Right now it's going to be focused mainly on property, finding the property to rent or buy and sell from the host's perspective. And what we aim to sell is trust in the property you're going to rent, trust in the landlord or the host of the property, and trust in the tenant and the person that's coming to rent your property or buy your property or whatever. So as I say property, right, because it's not necessarily just a house. It can be an office space, an event center, a warehouse, a farmland, whatever, right? Any kind of property that wants to be sold and bought or rented, right? Kushi aims to provide that. Let me go on about why am I doing this, right? Why am I working on this company? And it's not a recent idea. I didn't just come up on this or just think about it and start working on it. It has been like in 4 years in the making at this point, because I think around my 300 level or 200 level, ending on my 200 level to towards 300 level, around that time, we had to move. I was in school, right? So we had to move from our current house to a new apartment. And fortunately for me, in the group of our roommates, I was the one tasked with going to find the next apartment, right? And I trekked my life out. I trekked through the neighborhood. I trekked a lot, dealing with a lot of agents, and I really just hated the experience. And I wish that there was an online resource that I could use to just get a good apartment, handle this process, right, trustworthily. Because some of the agents, if they are carrying you around, you don't know whether they're trying to scam you or you get. So it has been in my mind since then. I have attempted working on this a couple of times, right? I think it should be my fourth or fifth attempt, or taking it very seriously. The first time I did it, I tried making it a website because I had this vision of how I wanted it to work, and the issue was that I couldn't really implement that vision with it as a website because of some location issues and how the browser handles user location data. So I scrapped that and I started working on it as a mobile app. I started with React Native and Expo first, but I didn't know React Native at the time. So I don't know if one thing led to another, and I quit. I think I was too busy or too occupied with schoolwork, and I started again, still yet in school. I think 400 level to 500 level. I tried using Flutter, and same thing, I was working on it, and then I quit halfway because I think schoolwork became too hard, and I was working also at the time, so work combined with schoolwork combined with this, it just became too difficult to keep up, right? And so I left it. And up until last year, around January, my friend Benson, he kind of pushed me because he knew about the idea for a while. I've been talking about it, and he kind of gave me the push and some funding to nudge me right into working on it. And so I started. We hired a designer. We got some UI designs. Started working on the code. Learned React Native. Fortunately, I had actually been learning React Native or learned React Native for another contract, another work or job I was doing at the time. So I was more equipped to handle this project. So I did it. We worked on it. I worked on the back end. Throughout last year, I developed it. Though during the middle part of the year, I was basically unable to work on it because I was too occupied with work stuff. So, but around September period, I kind of locked in heavy and covered a lot of the app. In fact, my goal was to finish the app by December, which in my own measurement I actually did, right? So I had the backend, the app running, and I was really trying to launch it around that December time. If not, some certain things came in the way of me doing that. Mostly Apple developer account issues and their strange processes, right? So in the end, I didn't launch it last year, right? But I do have most of the app ready. I might be thinking, okay, if I have the backend and the app ready, why am I making this video? We're already about the end. But the thing is, we're dealing with property, and as I say, we're trying to sell trust. And to do that, there are a lot of how will I put it? There are a lot of legalities that are involved, and we wanted to make sure that I'm not wanting in anyone, I'm not lacking in any area, right? So I've been using Gemini. I have Gemini Pro. I've been using Gemini to kind of research some of the legal things I need to take into consideration to make sure that we are not falling short of any that we say, that we are as trustworthy as possible, right? And I've been kind of taking all those things into consideration. But this year, about last week, as of recording this video, my dad took me to see one of his lawyer friends to kind of inquire of him directly on the legalities behind this project I'm working on. And he kind of opened my eyes to a lot of things, right? A lot of procedures that he follows when he's handling this kind of issues for his clients, right? And many things to take into consideration. So it basically opened my eyes to like a lot of lapses that we were having, a lot of areas that we needed to improve on. And so that led to basically kind of a restructuring. So that's kind of the phase we are now. So we're in this restructuring phase of making sure that we are adhering to kind of any legal requirements that we need to, right? And as I said, I'm saying this a lot of times, but we are selling trust, right? And we want to make sure that we are, when you use our products to acquire or rent a house, right, that house is trustworthy first, but then it's also legally binding. We kind of provide an evidence that you can use in court, or that is acknowledged by the state or by your government, that you are actually allowed to be in this property or to have custody of this property for this period of time, right? So that we don't want to provide a service where people can be scammed, or provide an avenue for people to scam others, right? So that's why we are taking our time with it. So that's where we are. We're at this restructuring phase. That's why I decided, okay, this is the best time to start this video. I should have started since, but I wanted to spend most of my energy actually developing rather than making videos. But I really wanted to make the video, so I took this chance. Okay, since we are doing this restructuring, let me start now, right? And so that's what I'm doing. I also wanted to talk about where we are going. So my vision kind of for Kushi is that it becomes the ubiquitous choice, especially now that we are focusing on housing to begin with. It becomes the ubiquitous choice for housing. I want to rent a house, your mind should just go to use Kushi. I'm looking for a shop to rent, your mind should just go to use Kushi. I'm looking for an office space, your mind should go to use Kushi. It should be the language that people speak when they think about any kind of property purchase or renting. That's where I want to go, right? And we'll get there, because sometimes when I think about these things, talk about it like this, it kind of feels like quite a massive undertaking. Like, who do you think you are? You're just this little boy with this idea. Do you think that being able to code can help you achieve this? But I have experiences with solving kind of difficult or overwhelming problems, and my understanding of them, or like what I've come to realize, is that the best thing to do is to just start. And we've started, and we've been able to overcome a lot of hurdles so far, and we'll overcome this and overcome everything by God's grace, right? So that's where that's the vision I have for Kushi. We have a lot of things already in place. I mean, we have the business registration, we have a lot of things already in place. It's just to get it up and running and get it into users' hands. So that's really my aim this month, and basically this month to wrap up any development thing on our end, right? Get users using it and start getting those feedback. I'll talk more about that in coming videos, but for now, that's where we are going. From next video, my plan is to have the restructuring, some of the restructuring, kind of go into more details on what those are, and have those developed and added to the app, right? And I think and then in future videos we talk about other things. I haven't mentioned, many of these tech videos, startup videos, they talk about getting VC funding. I haven't pursued that yet. Maybe we'll pursue it. You guys, whatever we do, I'll carry you guys along, right? If you want to follow along, you can subscribe and like the video. Follow along for this journey. And that's all. Thank you. Goodbye.